Hello and welcome. You're watching FYI. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Now this is the season where we're all waiting with anxiousness about the results that are going to come out. And what a year it has been for students, for parents, for teachers as well. But first let's start with what we know for sure and what's waiting in the pipeline. Now the Council of Indian School Certificate Examination, they've declared their ISC and ICSE results on the 24th of July. Now, Twitter was abuzz with memes now, tickling everybody's funny bone. And despite exams being cancelled and results being delayed due to COVID-19 pandemic, the pass percentage, wait for it, has gone up, along with the rise in the number of students getting over 90% marks. Who would have thought? Now, as soon as that news broke out, from the toppers to backbenchers, all began sort of filling social media with memes and jokes. Some dealt with the delay in CBSE class 10th results, date of 2021. Those memes and all of that we'll get into in just a bit. But first up, in this program today, we'll be looking at what is it like to be, what will it be like to actually enter college when you've not given your boards, when you just in this pandemic year, what is college life going to be like, and what are the anticipations that students are building up to. While we do that, let's first tell you what exactly was this difference in marks. How different were the results of 2020 compared to when exams did happen, that was back in 2019. And this graphic will bring you that. When exams did not happen, that is 2021 versus 2019 when exams did take place. Now the overall pass percentage there for ICSE, that was 98.54% in 2019, cut to now when it is 99.98%. This is the overall pass percentage that has come in. This is class 10th, remember. Let's look at class 12th now. Overall pass percentage for 2019, that is when the exams did take place, that was 96.52%, cut to now, from 96, it has gone to 99.76. So what happened? How did this pandemic year ended up bringing in so many more students passing their boards and higher, like I said, higher number of people getting their 90% marks as well? We looked at some data from Delhi NCR and that recorded a pass percentage of 100% in their ICSE results. Delhi NCR, everybody who appeared for these examinations of ICSE, they all passed. And then again, for ISC, class 12th, not very different. 99.93% students who actually sat for these examinations, or in this case actually did not, they ended up getting their pass percentage as well. So soon, well, wait for it, memes followed up. Let's put some of those on the screen for you. Like this one, ICSE declaring results before CBSE was the most popular one, saying hum first, hum first. There were several others saying literally no one, my friend, after scoring 75% without studying said, Kyun hila dala na, almost there, saying, well, how could you actually be scoring so low at a time like that? Me and my friends now, this one quite funny, saying, Utsav ki tayari karo, and there were several others as well talking about somebody saying, I've got 90% marks in their board, saying, so what is the big deal over here? Some also passing off marks over there like that of a famous Hollywood movie. Oh, there are lots of memes doing the rounds on that one. But wait for it, as those memes came in, now is the turn for CBSE, and that means that CBSE exam results, which are expected anytime now this week, around 14 lakh students for class 12th will be waiting very anxiously for those results. Class 10th, around 21.5 lakh students waiting with bated breath as well. But if you're one of those stuck with how to actually check your result, don't worry, we've got a guide for you on how to actually get a hold of your result when they are tabulated. Well, the formula we have discussed in our previous episodes as well, but what essentially you have to do is that your teachers and the board, they've got together, they've calculated your marks according to that formula, and for that you have to visit their website and then just go into the link available on the home page, enter your roll number and your date of birth, and then you'll have to submit your result will be displayed over there on the screen. You can also take a printout of that, keep it with yourself and download that for further need as well. And while that happens, well, the class of 2022, they're really wondering and waiting in the wings on what's going to happen to them. And they seriously had the last laugh on this one, as they are not going to give not just one board exam but two. The structure that has come in now, which is a paradigm shift on what we've seen in the board so far. CBSE has said that they will be not having one but two board exams. The term 1 exam will be concluded and conducted in around November to December in 2021, and the second term will be in March, April of 2022. Now that's all about examination and their results. But the real life challenge, college life, higher education, it all begins post your examination results, and that is an area where we saw some serious challenges coming in, and the impact of COVID-19 on higher education. What exactly has that been like? That's an important area to touch upon, and there we figured out there was more pressure on students on higher education institutes. UNESCO in fact came out to say that over 320 million students in Indian schools and colleges were impacted. Digital divide, a huge factor over here. More Indian students will be staying at home in India. What does that mean? Will they still be signing up for college and studying from home, or will they wait for their term? Many of them going abroad as well. We've discussed that in a previous FYI episode with you. And also now, India, remember, is the second largest source of international students in the world. What's happening on that front? Travel restrictions making a lot of people very nervous. We also saw a trend earlier that people skipped a year. They decided to take up a course locally in the country, but waited for their chance to get their vaccine, which was obviously expedited for those wanting to travel abroad, students who wanted to travel abroad, and they were given facilitation so that they could go on and study and complete their course there. The drop in enrollment, however, has been seen as a major challenge as well, with the tuition fee, and public institutions could be seeing reduced funding as well. So there is a sort of unclear terrain where we are getting into on what is on the minds of these students. So we thought, let's just hear from them. So on the program today, we've got some ICSE and ISC toppers with us, all of them wearing their good smiles today with us on the program, and we've got some career counselors as well who will be guiding them through on what to do next on the program. So counselors, hold your horses. It's the turn to get a word from the students first, and we'll go to the toppers. It's really your time to shine. Generally, we would have seen schools and colleges and even billboards in small towns, at least in towns I grew up in, I saw they used to be flooded with faces and marks put up. We didn't see that sort of excitement come up this time around for obvious reasons, but has there been a bit of a dampener for these students? Let me start by getting a word from Sarah. Sarah is a class 12th student, and she has just passed out. Sarah, tell me, what was your percentage and how are you feeling right now? What plans for college?
My percentage was 97%, and I plan to study at Imperial College London this autumn, and I plan to do a BSc in biomedical science.
And you're good with the plan? You've got your vaccine, you're ready to travel. How is that going to work?
I've got my first shot of the vaccine, and I'm ready to take my next shot in the coming 2 weeks. There are a lot of restrictions in the UK right now, so and I can apply for a visa only after I get my results. So I have to still apply for a visa, and I can. Right now, the UK, we are on the red list for the UK travel, so I think my parents will probably not be able to travel with me. And I don't know, I may have to quarantine in a hotel or maybe in the halls, hopefully.
What I'm hearing from you, Sarah, is not just the times ahead that is scaring you, but the entire travel scene is a bit of a, untraveled terrain over there, and you don't know how that's going to pan out, especially when this is the first time you're stepping out of your home and trying to find college life. But it'll be exciting. Let's just try and stay focused on the positive stuff for the moment. It will be exciting. We'll come to the challenges also in just a bit. Let me go to Abhishek now. Abhishek Chaube is with us. He is a pass out of class 12th from St. James School in Kolkata. Abhishek, tell us your percentage and what plans ahead.
Very good evening to you, ma'am. So, ma'am, I got a 94% in my English plus 3 in my IEC 2021. And my plans for the future are to pursue BCom honors from Delhi University. Now, my plans were to go to Delhi University, but here I am in a dough. The reason being, and I'll prove it to you, that I am 180-degree different from the view which my friends on screen are going to share today. Now, in my pre-board examination, I scored a 93% in my offline exam, with a 96 in a subject called commerce, which we have to study in ISC.
Okay.
Now, when I got the scores in board examination, I got a 90. Now, I'd like to ask the entire nation watching this news, what is the logic behind giving a 90 to a student who scored a 96 in the offline pre-board examination? Now, I know many people won't agree to this on the basis that students have scored really well. And
so, Abhishek, I understand you're not very happy with how the scoring was done over here. What are you doing about it? Have you approached the board? Are you going to ask them for reanalysis on this?
Ma'am, the CISC Council has first of all made this veil in between students and itself. And this veil is the school. Now, the school is in between, and the council has said if a student wants to increase his marks or wants to apply, he has to go it by the school only, right? They can't directly approve the thing, like the council. Now, the problem which I particularly am facing now, no school will try to just accept their fault, because alteration of marks means some student is dissatisfied on the behalf, like the school hasn't marked them properly.
I get your point. So, let me go to Jitin on this one. Jitin, there are going to be thousands of students like Abhishek not very happy with their marks, and this is just ICSE. Remember, we're still waiting for CBSE results to come, and that will be a larger chunk of students, and again, more vocal about what's going to happen. It's in the metros, it will be talked about more and all of that. To them, quickly, if you could resolve this issue, what is the process on getting your percentage rectified by the board?
Of course, there are options. So CBSE is also saying that you could appear for an exam. You could, I'm sure.
No, Abhishek is ICSE. He's ISC board.
Of course. No, since we were talking about CBSE, that what would happen subsequently. So CBSE has a recourse, but more than that, ultimately, I would say it doesn't matter too much, because as a career counselor, I feel lot of things which are happening are available online. Let's say if I want to take up business analytics, right now at this stage, students want to look at choices which are, I would call them conventional choices. So let's say if I'm talking about DU BCom honors, it's quite a conventional choice. So a BCom honors does not have business analytics or digital marketing or an understanding of AI, which is important even for a commerce person. But a private institution might have it. So if I am going to a DU not so good college, I don't get that admit, I can always take up courses online. I can go to a Google Digital Garage and I could build up myself. I could go to Coursera, Udacity. I could just build up it will not matter. See, what people need to understand is...
You're saying it will not matter. Okay, hold on to that. I'm sure Abhishek is not very convinced at this point. I'll go to him as well, but I would just want to get in a word from Tulika here. Tulika, at a time of these students like Abhishek are at a major disadvantage, right? You've seen the overall percentage of students passing go up. You've seen more people scoring over 90% in these examinations as well. So obviously the competition is intense. And middle of that, if students saying, well, I prepared, I was forced to stay home and then this has happened, not very easy to convince them.
I understand the stress. In fact, I'm facing a lot of students from ICSE, ISC and from CBSE who've come to me with severe anxiety because of this. They feel they can do much better in, in their board exams. The pre-boards might have been 92%, but they felt that in their boards they could have scored 97%. And it has been proven year after year. So my advice to each of them is, yes, there is a problem. I'm not saying that you have not, everybody in this pandemic, but then we need to find a solution to it. The best solution is, at the moment, the lesser known private universities are offering a lot of good courses. They've come up, their admissions rates have gone up. Plus, they have signed a lot of MOUs with the top universities abroad of doing 2 by 2, or, it's like 2 years here and 1 year abroad, or 2 years here and 2 years abroad, depending on the, the period of the curriculum. So it really works for them. The other thing is the state universities have announced that they might consider, other than the merit list, they might have an interview also. They haven't said it definitely, but they might do that. That might help them, bridge the gap between their marks and the admissions, marks that are required. But that, until unless we get clarity on that, we still don't have clarity from universities like DU and all. They will have to come up with a solution for these students who have been wronged by the circumstances. I really feel bad.
They're actually listening into these voices and are able to accommodate them and see how it goes. And several, like I said, like Abhishek, several of them like that. But let's go across to other students as well. We've got Veer Bansali with us. He is the topper at the Cathedral in John Connon School. Veer, congratulations. Tell us your percentage and what plans do you have?
Thank you. I got a 98.25%, and I plan on giving the entrance exam for medicine, NEET, soon in September. But the thing with an entrance exam is there's so much uncertainty if you'll get in. With a lot of the competition this year is much more. So then you have to end up making backup plans to a backup plan. And right now, as Abhishek said, there's a lot of discrepancy with the marks. So you don't know if it's an accurate representation. So you don't know if colleges will take those marks or they're going to take a separate entrance exam. So it's just mainly speculation. So all we can do right now is prepare for one exam at a time. And that's what I've been doing right now.
Okay, and you're at home, so I don't think preparing for exams is going to be that tough this time. You have more time to actually do that as well. Let's get a couple of more comments. We've got Kritika Mittal with us. Kritika, go ahead.
I'm from Gitanjali and I got 99% in my IC Commerce this year. And opposed to my
Kritika is the topper of our FYI panel so far, the highest scorer so far. Go ahead. What are your plans like?
Yeah, so unlike my co-speakers, I'm actually happy with my result, maybe because I've got what I actually thought I would get. And like one of them just now spoke, I wrote CLAT recently on 23rd July, but the fear still is instilled within me if I'll get or not, or if I'll get into a good NLU or the NLU I want to get into, and what are my backup plans if they will work, because most of the private colleges have completed their entrance exams and have completed their admissions, so it is quite fearful right now to look at my backup plans, but I hope I'll get into CLAT. Okay. It's just a hope, and it is keeping me alive right now.
See, this is the part about class 12 which is so sort of troubling. You end up scoring your percentage, but then the uncertainty doesn't end there. You still have to try and get that college, get that course, try and now with the pandemic ensure that you have the vaccine, ensure that you have visa. So many things to really think about. We're going to slip into a very short break. I know Aditya is also waiting with us, and we'll go back to our career counselors there also to try and tell them how to prepare best really for these times ahead. That's coming up in a bit. Welcome back. We are talking about how to really prepare for college, especially in this pandemic here. Let me go back to our counselors very quickly. Tulika, to you first. I'm sure you mentioned earlier that students are getting very anxious about how to really prepare for college life. Will it be an active campus life? That used to be one of the key things that would decide which college they would really choose for. We've done shows earlier where we discovered that the students actually going abroad, the number and the queries, they've gone up. Are you also seeing that?
Yes, definitely. There is, as if it's like they are buying an insurance policy for themselves. So they basically feel that the Western, countries would be opening up much more because the rate of vaccination is much higher. And at the moment, they feel that, going to UK or to US, yes, it is tough to get the visas because they are still on the red list, as one of the students said. They still are very hopeful that they should be able to go through. Maybe the first semester in certain universities or countries might be online, but we are pretty sure that they will be able to open up, because most of them are trying to open up if you are vaccinated. And especially Covishield has been accepted by US universities. So anybody who's got both the doses, they should not have a problem at all.
Expedited that program for them. So students, there are actually centers where they can go. Jitin, to you very quickly, but what about those still looking for universities here in the country? What's your advice to them on how to go about the entire process?
Just quickly adding on to what Tulika said, Australia, you can just leave. Australia doesn't seem to be opening up, but UK is open, US is open. Canada also has started visa processing for students. So again, I think a lot of countries are opening up. I have students who are looking at Netherlands. We help students with Netherlands also. Coming to India, so some universities like Christ have already announced their first round. Like they've already kind of done up with their main campus, but now other campus also. Today I got queries of parents. Narsimanji just announced their results today. DU kind of goes very slow. I mean, I think last year also DU started quite late. And
right, I'm running out of time, Jitin, so I'm interrupting because I know I have an ISC topper, Aditya, waiting. Aditya, you'll have the last word on the program. How are you actually feeling about your exam results and what lies ahead?
Thank you. I got a 99% in the science stream, and the result actually, and I want to pursue Bachelor of Technologies in Computer Science in IIT Bombay. So, but this year the criteria for the board score has been relaxed in the IITs. Like before, we had to get a 75% plus score in the board, only then we would be given a seat. But this year that has been relaxed. So
you're happy with the entire process so far?
Yeah, it's fine. But the only part that I'm not happy is the exams keep getting postponed. And
all right, 99% topper in his school, still not happy because of this horrible wait that we all have to do in this pandemic. Yeah, I guess that's the biggest problem that we're all dealing with. But thank you all so much for your thoughts and your time on the program. We'll keep looking into all these details. Some schools are actually also opening up. We'll get you more updates on how that's panning out for those who actually went back to the classroom. But more on that later. Bye-bye for now.